Roots to Wellbeing uses the 5 ways to wellbeing to support your mental health. Connect, take notice, keep learning, be active and give. Thanks for watching.
Hello again. So I'm here with Liam and really excited. I found Liam by chance on Facebook the other day, and Facebook is good for a lot of reasons, and just love what you do. So tell us a bit more about what you're up to then, Liam.
Well, it's been a bit of a crazy thing that's been going on. Probably like the last, probably since the end of last year, actually. I've basically had this. I've written this book, and I finished writing it in probably 2014 or 15, and then it just sat there, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get a publisher, and done different edits on it and stuff." And then I was just like, I was in Australia last year, and then I ended up in France. And I was just there. Like, I was like, "What am I going to do with this book? Like, it's been sat there now for like 3 or 4 years. It's done nothing. I need to get rid of it so that I feel like it's something on my shoulders that it just needs to be released in some way." And I was like, right, I'm going to self-publish it, because you're getting offered these deals and you're like, people are taking everything from you. So you end up with like 2% of ownership of your piece of work that you've poured your whole life into. And I was just like, right, I'll self-publish it. Clicked on the internet, like, just gives you step-by-step guide how to self-publish. I'm like, why didn't I do it 4 years ago? So then it was just like empowering myself to get this book published, finding people on different websites that will help you edit, proofread for like next to nothing. Do you know what I mean? I was getting quotes for £4,000, and then I ended up getting it done for 350 quid. And it's like, wow. So this website, I was really blessed, found this Australian woman who's like really successful proofreader and writer herself, and she just loved the story. So she was like, yeah, I'll do it for like this cheap price. So I was like, okay. And then just started the ball rolling of self-publishing this book. Self-published the book. It's called Dealer to Healer. It's like been doing amazingly. It's just growing slowly. And then I started teaching these. I'm a yoga teacher. I've been a yoga teacher for like 3 or 4 years. Been practicing yoga since 2011 when I went to India for the first time. Really into like the Jiva Mukti style of yoga, which is like really traditional, but then also it's really funky and modern as well. Like you go and they'll be playing banging tunes and you're like, what? But then you'll be chanting, and then you'll be meditating, and then you'll be talking about scriptures, and you're like, whoa, this is what I want. You know what I mean? I want something that's not diluted, but it's extra. You know what I mean? It's modern.
My kind of yoga. I think I like the house music scene myself. It's a shame because your video, we've got it ready to go on YouTube. You're going to see it today. But it's a shame because it does this thing where it dampens the sounds, and you've got some good sounds going there. We might have to put a playlist underneath so people can experience.
Yeah. My brother can put together the playlist. So that thing, like the dance thing, the video that I've done for you guys, just come about from like I started these yoga raves the end of last year. And was just like, oh my god, this is like my thing. Like everyone loved it. I loved it. It was like one of the best experiences I've ever had. It felt amazing. It was like tons of people turned up. And then lockdown, we were like, right, we can do a yoga rave every Sunday. And then I was like, what else do we do? Everybody's wanting something to do. Like, yeah, I'm out and about and doing whatever, but other people, you know, are at home and stuck at home, working from home. So he's like, okay, we'll do a dance party. I've got a business partner, and we were like, right, we'll do a dance party every night at 6 o'clock. And just everybody's loved it. Like everyone gets like a ridiculous amount of views. We've got like started like a little community up through it. And obviously it was supposed to be for 3 weeks through lockdown. I said, I'll commit to every night through lockdown. I was like, all right. And then it's obviously what's it been now, like 8 weeks?
I think so. I'm not sure. I mean, there's another guy. I was just saying simple Art. My choir member Art. He did a song a day for 52 days, and then he was like, right, actually, that's a killer. Like, and it is like you say. You think like. The thing is, I think we thought this was a sprint, and it's actually a marathon, and we don't know when it's gonna like. So you can only do so much. But I love what you do. I found you the other day, and I was like, wow, like just love what you do. Love how you connect with people. Love how you're just yourself, and that's really important. How do you think that helps your mental health? Doing like the practices you do, like finding yoga, for instance, and just expressing yourself in what feels right to you.
Well, I'm pretty certain I'd be dead if I hadn't found yoga and like a line of spirituality. But just like disciplined practices that I commit to every day. And then
Mm.
when you first go into that new world of yoga, of meditation, you sort of think you have to become serious, and life's like super serious. You have to take everything seriously. You have to be committed. But then you realize eventually that I can still bring my true essence through, like my humor, my working class roots, and I can be myself in that environment, which I find that a lot of yoga teachers become a generic teacher. Like, they even have a yoga voice, you know what I mean? Like, there's this like generic yoga voice. And I'm like, that's not what I want to be about. Like, someone told me, like, a teacher who I was training with, and he was like, you're going to have to change your voice a little bit because you're difficult to understand. And internally, I just was like, that, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, I'll listen to you. I respect your opinion, but no way. Like, I've got to bring what I've got to bring to it. And lots of people are not going to resonate with that, and that's fine. But a lot of people are going to resonate with you just being real and yourself and making it funny, and not, it doesn't have to be serious. You're serious in serious moments, but then you can still bring this lightheartedness to it. But for me, like, it's the practices. It's that basically mental health and depression is the biggest blessing of your life in disguise. People don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Even people who've got through it don't want to hear that. But it makes you really, like, you go, I'm going to die here. Like, I feel like I'm going to die every day. My body feels toxic. I feel disgusting. I don't want to speak to anyone. When someone speaks to me, I feel anxious. And then actually from that, you go, okay, so what are all these things that are making me feel like that? Are they me going clubbing all the time, me taking drugs all the time, me hanging around with these people who expect me to behave in a certain way? And you have to start stripping everything back and eradicating things and seeing other things that resonate with you. Like, okay, so for me, it was like I write about in my book, it was like, right, okay, I wanted to kill myself for a long time. I thought about it a lot, and then I was like, right, okay, we're gonna do this one way or the other. Either I'm gonna kill myself, or I'm gonna get better and happy and come back to myself. Like, I was always cocky, arrogant little kid. Do you know what I mean? Happy, making people laugh all the time. In school, I was dead naughty, but I had the class in stitches. And I get dragged out of class. Do you know what I mean? But the whole class was laughing. And I was like, I lost it. I lost that. I was like, where's that gone? It was just, I was dead. I was dead inside. And toxic. I felt toxic. I felt the taste in my mouth. I just didn't like being in this body. And then it was just, right, okay, so 3 years, I'm going to try everything. If I have to be a monk, I'll go and be a monk. If I have to have a sex change, I'll go and have a sex change. If none of this stuff works within 3 years, I will kill myself, because I don't want to be somebody who's been going to counselling for 40 years. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't my thing. It was like, I'm going to do this one way or the other, guaranteed. And I did it, and I got happy. And you still have dips now and again, and your energy dips. Like, for me now, in where I'm at, comes to a full moon, and sometimes I have a massive breakdown, and I'm like, what is that? Like, I'll ring one of my gut because I don't follow it. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, it's full moon. I'm like, all right, okay, sweet. It's like I'm having a period. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm having my man period.
We are governed by the moon. I mean, the term lunatics comes from the moon. I'm actually more sensitive sometimes to a new moon. I don't know why. And all this planetary stuff that's been coming along at the moment. And like you, like, I'm a bit like Marmite. So, like, some people might like and might not like, or might not resonate with what I'm saying. But I think what is really key at the moment is, if we're coming from our authentic selves, it's finding our authentic selves. And sometimes to get to that inner part of the soft center or the hard center within us, you have to go through them bits. I mean, like yourself, I've had really bad depression. I went out to Israel when I was younger, split my boyfriend, and that was it. I was gone. I wasn't going to be on this plane anymore. And things happened, and it changed. And there's times when I've been low, and I'm like, I want to be back to me again. And when you're in that low, and you want to be back to that, where was that? But actually what you find is you come to a new version of yourself, and finding something that works for you is amazing. I mean, it's, you don't, there's preconceptions of how you have to act and interact if you do certain things, and you, but we're here to break the molds. You don't have to be that person, to do that particular practice, do you? And you're proving that, like, and you're making your own version, which is what people want. People want to be able to be relaxed in class. I used to hate going to yoga classes. I'm dyspraxic, I'm clumsy, I bump into people, I've got hypermobile joints, I get on the floor and I can't get up again, my knees lock, and I'm like, my bum's in the air, and I'm like, oh no, I'm stuck. You know, and I'm just laughing. And then you get, I don't know another term to call it. You get certain people that come into these classes that are so fixed on, right, my mat goes there, you're a newcomer, get them away. And they forget human kindness and love, which is actually all part and parcel of yoga, isn't it?
Well, they forget that if yoga isn't this practice of postures, it's a whole scientifically designed system of behaviors, of changes of behavior and practices that will lead you to becoming the most beautiful version of yourself. And in doing that, like in becoming the most beautiful version of yourself, like you said, people were like, you're like Marmite, whatever, people aren't going to like you. You just don't have to worry about that. You just do your thing coming from your heart, and you'll find your tribe. But there's so many people, like even at the moment, like there's loads of people not speaking the truth because they're scared of getting kicked off Facebook, getting ridiculed on Facebook. And it's like, I will, if anyone asks me a question, I'll tell them my truth, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean I'm going to go and promote, like, I might not go and speak politically to people because I don't need to. It's like, but if someone asks me a question, I will give them my perspective. Doesn't mean my perspective's right. All it is my perspective from the events that have happened in my life that make me think this way. Do you know what I mean? And I feel that I always try and bring that from my heart as much as possible. But our events are like empowering people. We want the yoga raves. We're like, I want you to be the most beautiful version of yourself. I want all that barbed wire, all that mesh around your heart that's been from breakups, from what your parents have said, from being beaten as a kid, from whatever it is. Just want to unravel it, and you just go boom, and you just don't care about what anyone else is thinking. And for the yoga raves, for me, as soon as I get people in that room, within 10 minutes, they're dancing like they're in a shower on their own and nobody's watching. And I'm like, this is wonderful, because they come in and they're a bit apprehensive, and it's like, bump, it's gone. And then for 2 hours, they're just like, bah, going crazy. And I'm like, and like people like yourself, what you just explained, coming and not being able to do the postures. And at first I'm like, I'm watching people, because it's a very dynamic practice that we do. And I'm watching people and I'm like, oh, they're not having a good time. Like, they're not enjoying it. Like, they're struggling. They've been sat down. And I do say at the beginning, I'm like, at any point you're struggling, dance or just lie down. You don't have to follow or just do something. You know what I mean? Just do a movement. It doesn't matter. This is about the energy you were creating in the room and about you becoming powerful. And then they'll come up to me at the end and I'm like, oh, they've hated it. They've not liked it. They've not liked it. They're like, it's amazing. It's like the best night of my life. And I'm like, yes. All the way through.
You've given them permission. It's about giving permission. I think that when we go to these things, you have all these like, oh God, I can't do it. I can't stand on my head. I can't do this. I can't. And you think about the can'ts, not the cans. And if somebody can give you permission, it's. I mean, I do these Nordic walks around where I am in Essex with the sticks, and I trained in doing it years ago. And it was all about money, and it was all about, oh, you got to buy the proper stuff. You got to spend 200 quid on a pair of poles. No. Wear what you want, be what you want. We do a bit of side sheath health. I get people doing that, I don't know if you call it a lion breath or a Cali breath, but you know, when you breathe in, clear your epiglottis, get rid of your crap, you know, and just like dispelling all their myths. And if you can give someone permission, they can be the best that they can be, because they have permission to do that. But we're used to rules, we're used to schools and rules. I mean, I don't know about you, I didn't do sport at school, a bit like yourself. I didn't really get on at school. My mind was quite active. I played the fool, I did all the jokes, I got kicked out of stuff, left school with no qualifications and stuff. But it's just the way. I didn't like the conformity of it. And to actually create something that is based on love and based on acceptance and permission. I think what I've realized is doing these videos, people sending videos in the last couple of weeks, that a lot of what has resonated with people is about just, it's okay, just be, just shake around, just do what you need to do. It's great, it's amazing.
Do whatever you need to do, like that you're holding back from. There's so many people just holding back, like so
Yeah.
sensitive and fearful of the views of others, and like it's not important. It's the most important thing is for you to step into honesty and integrity and really sort of communicate with your true self, which gets, you're born it, and then it just gets disappeared and programmed out of you, and then you have to find it again. That's why, that's why these things happen. That's why depression happens. That's why midlife crises happen. And it's actually, I'm like, yes, do you know what I mean? I'm depressed. I'm like, yes, like, come on. From here we can grow, because when you're in that depressive state, your vision opens a lot different, and you start to see a different world around you, and you start to see the things that aren't serving you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. And it's like, without that depression, you just carry on not being very happy for the rest of your life, like just kind of like, oh, yeah, this is all right, but and it's like, nah, just, you'd rather go boom, rock bottom, full power.
Yeah. You're building them foundations, a bit like in your chakra system. Like, a lot of us at the moment with what's happened, it shook people off their foundations. What they thought was real and thought was normal and thought was good, which is coming from the ego, like, has been shook. And actually we're rebuilding this new normal, or whatever that is, or this communal spirit that we've come into, more than ever. And it doesn't, there is a lot of fear out there. I get that there's a lot of fear, and I get, there's a lot of my friends and family that come in maybe from fear, but I think that our role is to support people to come from love and acceptance, and just let them grow on that, because it's a universal energy. It's there for the taking.
And that's what you've got to tap into, and that's from the dance videos. Like, I'm just trying to show people, like,
I love
it's
them.
all right. This is not an illusion anyway. Everyone's starting to get worried about death. It's like, why were you worried about it before? Why are you worried about it now? It's still happening, and it's going to be amazing. Like, why now? You're going to die. You're dealing with facts, man. Like, I think it's fantastic. But I even in my classes, I'm teaching, go and think about dying. Go and have a think about it, because in our culture, like, my mum would always, don't talk about that. That's morbid. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And you get scared of it. And then now I'm like, no, you need to talk about it. You need to realize what happens when you die, that this is an illusion. You're just in a temporary body for a little while, having an experience. And like, someone now telling me that I might die in the next week, I'm like, I was stuck under a truck once thinking I was going to die any second. So it's all right. Like, I'll die when I die.
Yeah. And I think if you face it, I mean, I've had a couple of near-death experiences, really funny ones actually. I ain't got time now, but I tell you a really snippet. I went to one of them water parks in Spain and went on one of them, them big like rings that you sit in on down the rapids, and someone landed on me, and I landed inside the rubber hoop with my fingers and my feet, and I got flipped over and then drowned in like about 1.5 meters of water. So that was fun. So I had a real fear about that. Yeah, I had a real fear. And the thing was, I was like a 12, 13-year-old, and
Jesus,
I was turned upside down, and all everyone could see was my bum. So so they just saw this big bum in the air, and I was dying in this water, and the lifeguards were laughing so much that they trod on me to try and get me out. They didn't slip me over. It were awful. And like, all these people come out of nowhere and pulled my limbs, and I popped out of it, and I had to get up and get out. Sometimes
a funny way to go.
Yeah, a funny way to go. Yeah. But then they were giving me a round of applause. I got out, there's about 50 people. It went on for a while. But again, you've had that experience. It's like, well, how much worse can it get? Like, I've had a couple of psychosis. I've done some really crazy things when I've been unwell. But actually, how, it's coming back from now. I looked at that and I think, well, my mum's got bipolar. My mum's journey is different from mine. I think, well, that happened. Yeah, okay, let's move on. Let's just try and live. Let's try and enjoy life. Let's try and enjoy the good things.
I've had a bad trip on ayahuasca. I don't think death will get anywhere near that. You know what I mean? Jesus, man.
Oh, no, not for me. No, I'm really sensitive. I can't even take an aspirin. I'm not going down that road. But thank you. And I think as well, narratives help. Like the fact that you've put your experiences into a book, and you've gone out there and you've worked out how to publish it and everything, which is an inspiration to all of us.
It's empowering a lot of other people to do the same, to get the work out there. And like, for me, the book, has just been like, the responses I've had from it, it's just been incredible, and it's just growing all the time. Like the reviews and people saying how much it's inspired them to travel, to make positive changes, to start meditating, to start looking at the world in a different way. You know, for me, it's a yoga book. It's a yoga book about a journey to yoga. There's nothing about yoga in the book, because people are always expecting more about yoga because I'm a yoga teacher now and that's my thing. And I'm like, no, if you read it and you understand what yoga is, that is your journey. That's you go through. There's 8 limbs to yoga, and in that journey, I've gone through a lot of them to form my transformation into a more conscious, more caring, more heart-centered person. And the reviews I'm getting, the communication I'm getting, like, is incredible, and people are loving it. People are like saying, I'm reading it on the train and I'm crying, and then I'm laughing. And then someone had an argument in the doctors about the book because they were saying, oh, he used to be a drug dealer. Oh, he'll always be a bad person. And she was like, no, he's an amazing person. And she went, then this man come in, and there was this massive kicking off in the doctors just because she was reading this book that said dealer to healer.
That's hilarious.
I was like, get in.
So we're going to put a link under here, Flame's book. I definitely want to get a copy. I definitely want to have a read. I love a good book. Is it on audio book as well for those of us that are not so good at concentration? Is it hard?
The follow-up, which is basically the section of the last section of the book, but we basically turned it into a short story, and that's available on audio book at the moment. It's called Hitchhiking. If you just go on my on my Amazon author page, all my books that are available are on there. The Dealer to Healer, I'm working on the audio book at the moment, but it's not far off being as long as Shantaram, so it's a beast of a book. So it's taken me a long time. I've probably spent up to 600 hours editing and recording so far, and I'm getting there, and I'm really empowering myself to commit to 4 hours a day editing at the moment.
Whoa,
I'm hoping to have it done in the next couple of months and out. But yeah, the paperback's available, the Kindle version's available, and if you send me your address, I'll send you a signed copy. It's not a problem.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm in my little summer house here with my books. I love a book. I think I've got a book in me. One day, I'm actually planning to go to. There's an amazing guy called Dr. Martin Shaw, and he has a place in Dartmoor. And he does stuff around narratives. I'll send you some of his stuff. Really interesting guy, and you can go and it's a nature. You're in nature, and I've paid a deposit to go. It was meant to be in August. It might be moved to November, but I don't care when it is. I just want to go. And I want to immerse myself in nature.
Yeah. That's when it comes through. That's when it comes through. We just need to be disconnected for a little while.
Yeah, there's a really interesting thing he said. So my friend does yoga, and I went on a yoga retreat. As I said, I was the one with my bum up in the air that couldn't move. But we went to an island, a volcanic island called Stromboli, which is just off Naples in Sicily. While we were there, somebody sent me a message. People send me stuff all the time. I don't always read it, but it was from this Dr. Martin Shaw, and I listened to it, and he talked about, I think it's 3 days deep. I'll send it to you. But basically, the shaman, they go out into the desert without any water and anything, and on that 3rd day is when they discover themselves. The answer that they were looking for in their soul, it comes about because they've gone through, they've disconnected from their community, and they've just gone in there. And from what you're saying, it sounds like your journey was about that. It was about reconnecting with who you really are, to enable and to support and heal others, and that's so important. It really is.
No, you take it from your perspective. That's the thing, you know what I mean? People sometimes are trying to do it from another perspective, but you've got to see things from your own circumstances, you know what I mean, and heal your own circumstances, not like other stuff that's going on. Like, you know, a lot of us want to connect with nature, but we've been born in cities. Like, we can sort of try and reconnect and recreate. There's a wonderful book, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Grandfather, by a guy called Ron Brown.
No, I've read that.
So you're like, oh my God, this guy, Indigenous American, basically he just walked all around America. He walked from America, Canada. He walked from Canada to Peru, met some shamans, did some stuff in Peru, walked back through Mexico. Like, he spent his whole life walking. But he was this guy. He was called the grandfather from like the age of 20, because you had to have the powers, and he was like, they tested him and he was chosen, and he ended up just going on this wandering journey. You become like you become a watcher or something first, where you basically, connects so deeply with nature that he knows everything around within a 7-mile radius. He can hear every animal, he can picture everything. He knows if any threats come into their tribe, and they move them on. Do you know what I mean? He's like, and he did that for so many years, and then he moves on to be a wanderer, and you're just like, oh my God. But I can't, that's not possible for me, because I've grew up in a city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and our alert system's different. I mean, I'm from Northeast London. It's a completely different thing. You have to be alert in different ways.
Totally,
it's interesting you saying that. I remember, I remember when the tsunami hit Thailand and Asia. There was an island in the middle that got hit fully by the tsunami, but there were no deaths, because the people were so connected to nature. They climbed the trees. They could feel it was coming. They were connected to nature. The things that we have in with us, but we've kind of forgotten. It's there.
We've got them superpowers. Like, it's just like it with the practices of yoga. It's just training and getting some sort of pinpoint concentration on certain stuff. Like, people think you're crazy when you talk about connecting with your heart. Like, your heart is the brain of your soul, man. Like, to connect with that is possible. All these technologies that are being brought in, we're all capable of that anyway. We're all capable of sending signals from our head to somebody else's, but we think we should have to have a device. But we created the device. Do you know what I mean? So we've got them powers, and there's going to be a break in society where people are going more down the holistic route of talking to plants, healing through plants, connecting with each other through the mind, through our other, clairaudience, clairsentiments, whatever it is.
Clairsenses,
these skills that we have, which we want to be eradicated. Everyone wants us to be chipped within the next, before 2030, they want everyone to be chipped. It's like
not happening here. I mean, it's that thing. I mean, I'm a clair empath, and I've got clair sentiments, which is sense, like, I feel stuff. So like, I do hands-on therapies and stuff, but I can actually feel like people's pain and things that can be tough, because you try and take it on yourself. And things are coming to light as I've got older, like claircognizance, and a clear feeling, a clear knowing. For me, it's in my gut, but it presents as a stomach ache. It used to just be a really bad pain in my stomach, and now it's kind of changing. I think as we get older, sometimes these things change. Sometimes we lose certain things as well, and it is an interesting journey. We're all on this interesting journey.
It's exciting, super exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think connecting, like I say, I'm just so pleased, you wanted to be involved and to get a chance to share what you're doing with others, because I think what's going to happen is different people are going to come in maybe with different ideas and say, oh, what's that about, and learn a bit more from others, which is really important.
That's the main thing for mental health, is like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Yes. Like, if you've got mental health, you're blessed, I think.
Yeah.
You just
I do as well.
You just don't see it right now.
Yeah, I do. And I think if you look at in Time Eternal, if you look at people that have done amazing things, like Einstein and artists, and a lot of people have had fluctuating mental health. They might have had a psychosis, they might have suffered from depression, but out of that comes this burst of creativity and this and you taste life when you've been low and nothing's working, and you're in your bed and you don't want to see or speak to anyone, and you come out of that, wow, it's like you appreciate everything you see, you hear, you touch. It's just amazing.
Phoenix rising, isn't it?
Yes.
Being reborn.
Yes. Definitely Phoenix. Well, I want to come to Manchester to go to a yoga rave once all this ends. So that's
well, we've got to come down to Essex and put one on there, or put one on in London.
Yeah, come to Essex.
We're planning on going all over the country with it.
I'd love that.
soon.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find some venues. Back in the day, it would have been a field with some big speakers. Don't know if we're allowed to do that anymore, but we can find something similar. But yeah, we've got.
You just either need a warehouse space or a nightclub, and if you've got any DJ contacts down there, we've got a few, but we're just looking at people. I like it to be a woman who's DJing, just so it's almost like a cross. You know what I mean? You expect a yoga teacher to be a woman.
Yeah.
You expect a DJ to be a bloke. So we just like that kind of gender kind of change, really.
Oh, we've got a few. So we've got Claire Ladybrook, who's going to be doing a video here, and Little M, Marissa, whose video went out a couple of days ago. So and she's just her husband's a DJ and she's learning, but we've got some female DJs down this way. I've got a few DJ friends as well because it's singing a house music choir as well. So yeah, I'm sure we can put something together, a little package to get you to this rave yoga. I'd love it. Anyway, I'm going to let you go, lovely, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll get this up now and we'll get on the links underneath. God bless you.
If you feel inspired and want to learn ways to support your mental health, please subscribe to our channel. Or you can find us at www.rootstowellbeing.org. And if you would like to get involved in future videos, please contact hello@rootstowellbeing.org. Thank you.